Hello. Hello and welcome back to the 100 days of game development. I am Devon, and say currently I have been kind of trying to make a new level. Currently I have one level in the game, and I thought it'd be nice to try to create another level in my free time with the few minutes that I had before I started streaming. But let's get back to accomplishing another goal. So, for this stream today, I'm going to be implementing this new menu interface. Probably this one appears, one on the top right that I designed, or I'm gonna implement that into the game. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm excited to see it actually inside the game. I think it's gonna take me a bit because I have to also make the tiles that go on the place. But um, say this is our goal for today, to see this actually inside the game. So the first thing I like to do always is I like to start by running the game and seeing just exactly where I left off the last time I was playing. And I remember from last night, I had finally got the loading and reloading of the level back to a place where I wanted it. I also got a chance to fix a couple bugs, including this feels a little crooked to me. My camera. Oh no. I hope it's not. I hope it's not crooked. Please tell me if it is crooked. But before you could push all of the blocks, or it would transfer over until the last block in a line, and now you can't do that anymore. I can kind of just push myself into a hole. But you see, once I'm stuck, and if the other player, doesn't also gets himself stuck and doesn't know what to do, you're kind of boned. I know what to do for this puzzle. You can kind of see like how to solve this puzzle, but let's pause. But there are no options to like be able to restart the level, or to quit the game, or to have a level select. So I want to go ahead and get that back in, and as you see, when I unpause it, it goes back to the way it was. We can go back to like solving the puzzle, and you win. Okay, so I am going to be today probably constantly switching back and forth between the two these two images, just to make sure that I get it right. I'm going to start by placing the players in the right place. I see I have player at 7-5, and I have a player at 8-5. So I'm going to go ahead and get them in the right place. 8-5. Let's see. I guess I can write some of this in the JSON already. Or I'm gonna make a new level JSON. Level 1. It's gonna be. It's this level 001. Let's see. Save. Yeah. Don't really care about that. I'm not gonna compare. I actually don't care about the save JSON. It gets overwritten all the time. So don't save. Don't care. This readme shows me that level 01 is the pause, just to make sure. I have the players already in here, so let's go ahead and place them in the right place. 7-5. I'm gonna load it back up, and we're gonna see it work just like magic. 8-5. Run the game again, and I can pause from the start menu, so I'm just gonna do that as a shortcut. Paused, and I do believe I have them right next to each other. That is how I want them to be. Yeah, they can be apart, but I'm also trying to pay attention to just how many buttons you have to press to get to an option. And say right now it feels a little lopsided, or it feels a little asymmetrical, because the player on the left side can easily reach the restart, the resume, this additional button, and the quit button, but it would take them more button presses to get to the options or the level select. And it's vice versa for player 2. Player 2 can reach the resume and the quit just fine, but when it comes to selecting, say, end level to select and selecting options, but when it comes to restarting the level, it still takes them a little bit. The option's there, but it's more advantageous for player 1 to reach it than player 2. something I plan to test out when I have other people play the game to tell me how it feels. Okay, so back to the game. We have our pause menu. I'm gonna say, how's our pause menu set up? And it's like, I already know. I just have to make sure that I have the right tiles and the right names for tiles too. So I'm gonna go ahead and I had to burp there. I'm gonna go ahead and write those down. Yeah, the resume, and probably set some of them up to work. Also, let's see. I don't think it would take much to get resume and restarting to work. Level select is probably going to bring you to another loaded level from JSON that allows you to select the level, but I'll save that for another time. I have this TBD one. Sure, I'll call it TBD. Just so I have a default button, just in case I want to play around with more menus. I can use the TBD button tile to like have a base button that's slapped on top of the pawn script. So we have options and we have quit. All right. I hope my skills are good enough to get those working fairly quickly. So I'm gonna make a new scene. I'm gonna make it 2D. I'm gonna call it resume. Resume tile or resume? I think I'm using the word tile, and I want to stay consistent. I have a continue tile, but I think that tile. Oh, that's the GE. Oh, let's go to the script. Let's not go here, but let's go to my prefabs. Go to UI. I should probably put the rest of them in UI instead of in object. Continue tile. I want to see what that looks like. That has the continue button, so that one is already done. I'm just gonna change it from continue to resume, or resume actually works. What I'll do is I'll just change it in my design for the UI, and I have the buttons as yellow. Continue and quit. Control C. I don't think it matters which one is set up there, as long as the language is understood between them all, and that they all have this. I have consistent language amongst all of my designs. So, just for my sake, we have a continue tile. I did make this level select tile already. Nice. And let's see. I wonder what scripts these things have. Sometimes I have a main menu tile for going back to the main menu, which will probably. I may actually just change that to being quit, or have my main menu. So keep this the same as main menu, change this to quit, or change this to main menu. Less work on my part. There. Wrap it. So format, text wrapping. We're gonna wrap it. Nice. Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V. And the only place you'll be able to actually quit out of the game will be the main menu, or will be the actual main menu level. So okay, yep, I got some of those going. I got my main menu is done. I have continuing the game. I have level select. I need a restart and TBD, which I'll probably just have it be one of my other tiles, just for the sake of just being there. I might just make some crates, honestly, like placeholder crates, as long as it looks set up fine. And options. So yeah, restart and options are the only two new ones I have to make. So let me go call this restart tile. There we go. And all it has is a Node 2D. Not Node 2D, but it has a texture also. I'm going to pull that from the asset folder. Art. I've been using the same tile sheet to save on resources. So I'm just go ahead and drag that in. Call it texture. We're going to center it in the center of the screen. And we're going to use only a portion of it. Or, you know what? This isn't it. I was so close. Actually, delete. Go ahead and delete that. I don't know if I can actually grab the texture from here. I hope so. Well, let me copy it over. It won't. I have to go and find this texture, whichever one it is. Or I really feel like I should be able to drop it over. Add instance child. I just want to. I want to save it. Merge from save branches scene. No. Edit, save. Nope. I guess I'll look at the path to see which one it is. Yellow button O2. Okay. So let's go ahead and find that. It's going to be in UI. Yellow button O2. There, that's my texture. I should have dragged it into the world. I knew it. There, in the world. Doing great. Center it. Let's see if I have to scale it at all. I probably will. It's scaled, I would say, in an awkward manner, but no, it's not. It's not really scaled in an awkward manner. I'm gonna zoom in. There. I want to make sure that my snap is on, so that when I actually do scale it, I'll scale it, with this. It is the correct size. And one in on both sides. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Okay, we'll call this texture. So I think that is what I'm calling them all for the most part. And then it needs a label. Alright. And that'll be the maximum size of this. We'll give it the name Restart. It's black right now, but I want it all in uppercase. I know that it's going to have a black font. It's going to have a custom font too. And we're using texture label. There we go. My dynamic font size 24. Okay. So let's go ahead and make a new dynamic font. Open it up. Font resource. Let me go ahead and grab that from the fonts. In the assets, Kin Vector of the Future. And then, I do want to make sure that it's centered all the way. I'll look at how big 24 is. That's decently big. I'm not sad with that. I'll go ahead and save that in the prefabs. I'll start saving them in the UI because that's really where these go, these additional tiles. And I think I'll move my other ones over there also. I'm saying that shouldn't break anything. I'll make sure this doesn't break anything. It's not instance in a scene or anything. So, yep, that's good. And I can also like play the scene by itself if I ever needed to do that. And that should just show, show it right in the center. Alright. Okay, the next thing I need to do, I said I was going to move those prefabs over because it's been bugging me that I have them in the wrong place, or in a place that's a little bit more confusing and harder to find. No! I just moved my, I crashed it because I tried to move a bunch of assets to the wrong place. I hope it's going to open back up just fine. I hope it didn't make that change actually, because I'm like, that means I would have been duplicating a bunch of code. It's re-importing assets. No, this is not what I wanted. Yeah, you see my assets folder's gone because I moved it over here when it should have been in the bin. This might crash it also. Yep. Because I'm trying to, again, move a bunch of assets at once. My bad. But luckily, Godot opens up and reloads everything fairly quickly. So I just gotta watch my clicks and like what I'm actually hovered over. Oh, I didn't move it out. Did it put it in bin? It did. Again. Hey, this one's not gonna crash. Or we'll see. Okay. We're almost there. Yes. Yes. Okay. Move my assets back to where they need to be. Great. And I think my game still works just fine. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna open it back up just to make sure that everything's working the way it's supposed to. Good to go. Okay. There. Let's go back to moving these prefabbed objects. So what I think I can do is I can select multiple of them. Level select, main menu, start tile. Let's go ahead and move all of those over into the UI section. Great. And then run it again just to make sure I'm not using any hard-coded file paths that will cause the game to break. You know what? I am using hard-coded file paths. You know where? Let's say in my JSON files. So prefab player is fine, but my main menu, I have to go and change that tile from prefab object to prefab UI. And I think that's it. So we'll go ahead and run it again. There. Breaking and fixing stuff all at the same time. I swear we're gonna get through this. It's not gonna be a bumpy road at all. I just have to watch what I'm doing. Okay. There. So now we have some more UI tiles. I have a new restart tile, and now I just gotta make one more. I'll keep this one up for reference as I make this options tile. Assets, art, UI, and it's the yellow button number 2 that I want. Go ahead and just drop that in there. Rename it texture. Transform, centered on the screen. And go ahead and resize it. Pull these out all the way. Pull these in. 1 and 1. Okay. Go ahead and grab that label. Go ahead and make it the full texture. Yep. Options. Don't care how it's spelled because I'm gonna uppercase it all anyway. Gonna go ahead and make sure it's within the center of everything. Gonna come down to custom colors. Gonna choose black. Custom fonts. Let's go ahead and go all the way up. Let's go ahead and unselect that. Let's go to font. There we go. Getting prepared for when I hit this dynamic font. Yes. I swear I'm getting way better at this. I should not be doing this. I know that not that I shouldn't be doing it. I know there's a better way. There's a thing called themes, and it allows you to create preset GUIs or themes, really. Cancel actually. And it would make making these much faster, but I have to make some of the theme first, which is something I've been avoiding doing. I just want to rename it. Yeah. Options tile, because I wanted to save that way also. In the prefab, in the GUI, or the UI, save. I think they're all using, or no, the restart and the options need their own scripts. I see. So we'll call it, restart tile, but we're going to put it inside of the script place. Yes. Cool. No problem with that. Doesn't really do anything. Actually, I'll have it extend the pawn GD. So it at least gets a type, and then I can go and create that type, which is going to be reset, or the restart. And the same thing for this one right here. So attach a new script, options, not in the prefabs, but in this scripts. Open, create, pond.gd, boom. So when I go back to it, it does get a type. Now I can make sure that all of these have the types available to them. And so I'm going to do that. Oh, I'm just going to open up my scripts. I remember it's in I started storing that in my world events or my global events. This nice long list. And it's only going to get bigger too, which is unfortunate. Does that work? I just make sure I'm not breaking any rules. There we go. And I start doing it this way, because I like how it looks.
It reminds me of the kind of party that I've known since I was a kid. Because when I was a kid, I loved
Yeah, and it doesn't matter what order they're in. Not really. Okay. So let's see. Resume is not one I have. I have a continue. I'm gonna rename it resume. I have restart is another one I need. Level select is still up there. I said I was going to do the to be determined one, but I changed my mind. I'm not going to do that one. Options is one. And quit, which I do have already. So now I do need to make sure that in my grid, I changed the continue to resume. I want to make sure that here it also says, instead of continue, it says resume. Playing. Boom. Look at that. I'm gonna play the game to make sure that my global script doesn't break because I kind of not using tabs. Alright. And now I can start. Well, say before I start doing that, I want to make sure that my restart tile, or rather, I'm going to be specifying those inside of the script anyway. But I do have to make sure I get the right numbers, that's for sure. Keeping this list updated, Control C, with the list that I have in my README file. Continuous, I'll call it resume. I now have options, which I do believe is 8. Now, yeah, I think I'm just going to do a 1-by-1 comparison for those. Oh. Options, restart, start. Okay. 8, 9. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, you're probably super mad at me because I did a bunch of like moving of files. I am so sorry. Okay. Now that's just telling me what things I changed within my file directory. Oof. Okay. So next thing, now that I'm going to try to instance one of these tiles via the JSON. And that's going to be this JSON right here. And I'm also, I know that I'm super lazy, so I'll just grab this right here, copy it, bring it over. Control V. Oh, yeah, don't scroll on me like that. Tile 1, we're going to call this the resume tile. UI resume. It's actually type. Oh. Okay, maybe I should just have this open on the side always, like this. 3. And I remember correctly, if say it's man, it's resume. It's at I called these continue. What am I doing? What am I doing? I gotta have some consistency. I said I was going to. Let's go look at this resume tile. It should be called continue. It's called continue. Okay. What am I doing? See, what does continue do? Yeah. Okay. It's called continue. I don't know why I stuck on resume. That was weird of me. Let's go back and change that back to continue. Let's make sure that the grid also says the same thing. Continue. I'll just, yeah, continue. It's called continue. And then I can go into my JSON and make sure that that's also called continue too. Control V. Like, yeah, what was I thinking? I just switched over effortlessly. Continue tile. Control C, Control V, continue tile. Make sure that prefab exists the way that it's called. Ooh. Yep. Or that's the script. Continue tile scene. Alright. 3, yep. 6. Now I can go and check the location. I have it at 7-3. And I remember if I grow initially to the left, I can grow in any direction, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm gonna keep that convention for now. I think I can do it in any direction. It won't hurt. 8-3. 8-3. Cool. Let's go check out Godot. I do have this continue tile, and I'm growing it to the left by 1. So that's good. So now when I load up and pause the game, I should see that continue show up. Yep, it showed up. It needs an offset. I forgot my buttons need offsets. Oh no. Buttons need offsets. I have time to go and fix that. Man, forgot that this was gonna pop up. It just needs to be shifted over half of a block to the left. That's what it's looking like right now. And it's, let's say, where that can be done is actually in the world, or where I was doing it before. On go to level. Yeah, I was doing it based on the type of tile. I remember, I wish I wrote down more on this. I remember talking to a friend about this because different tiles have different offsets. And I didn't want to have like a bunch of repeat code for that. I didn't want to have to put the offset in the JSON file and read that data in. So I thought I would what I was thinking is I could determine it by the type, because
Yeah,
sad.
forced to get my anatomy and proportions down
Hmm.
better.
So,
It's okay.
how am I gonna do this?
I know about that assignment just because one was supposed to
Well, I can check the type of the tile, and it's really like only two
Which
types
honestly I
right
don't
now.
mind because they look really
It's
good.
the players that need a certain way, and it's the UIs that need a certain way. I say I don't care. Uh, I'll do a match. Fine. It's type dot or tile dot type.
It's probably around there somewhere. Just like
And
probably
say I didn't want to have to maintain a list either. That was the issue. And I'm like, man, I think I may go back. I may go back and just go look at that. I'm gonna I oh since I do have up open the my retrospectives, I just have to kind of search through them to find out where that was. I want to recognize I'm doing something more complex. Okay. I should move the tile typing down to the global script. Same as 11, 13. Stream a new location. Okay, it was after that. Okay, 15. There's a position offset each challenge should have in order to be placed. Thought there were two ways, but I can assign the two. Dang it. I have my options, but I didn't include his option. Maybe I put it down below. Explain my offset dilemma. Sam says that it possible when I'm checking that the JSON files have certain properties, then I can check that there's an offset to use. Otherwise, it can use a default offset to place tiles on the grid.
I got one set
Okay.
like 3 days download.
So really, I can keep the offset normal
Obviously didn't have
and just check the type. What was my first guess? Like, load the offset tile into the JSON.
in the
Yep, would be to check the type of each tile before adding them to the grid to assign the right offset. This would affect option 1, less redundant data in JSON, but then my function would have to expand every time a new tile is added to the game.
yeah.
Yeah, say yes, but right now it's only two types of tiles. So it would be something like if the tile type,
I mean I can get where she's coming from at the same time. That's
or I guess I had this big long list of like the GUI versions.
But yeah.
So I'm gonna read that answer again to make sure that I understood it completely. Okay. I'm glad I wrote it down. Oh man. If I'm checking the JSON files have a certain properties, yeah. Okay, I can do it in my load JSON. If there's an offset to use it. Otherwise, I can use a default offset. Okay, yeah. I understand that. I'm understanding that better. So what I talked to him about before was actually, since I'm verifying that that you have certain things like an offset, then if by chance I specify that there is an offset for a tile, it'll use that offset. So not every tile has to have an offset. It'll look something like this. And now I need to, place that offset. If it has an offset, use this as the offset. Otherwise, use the other offset. Use the default offset. Instance dot. And I honestly just want to use like hard-coded values for this. I don't think I could potentially include the grid. Am I including the grid anywhere else in here? Not really. But I can go to my grid and see how it's adding the offset in my add pawn offset right here. So it's just the map to world offset. Okay. That doesn't necessarily say map to world. Okay, so I'll take map coordinates, transform the world coordinates. So I can use global positions, which is what I want. Which is what I want. This makes it so that it's not dependent. Say position plus equals. It's like vector 2 or plus offset. Should I think I might have to do offset y and offset x. Very similar to these right here. Okay. Offset's not declared in the scope. You're right. Position, that x. I have to say offset y and offset x. Wow. If it has an x offset.
It's one of my friend's characters.
I wonder if I can. It's okay. I wonder if I can have a vector. I think I technically can, but I'm not. I'm not going to. I'm just gonna have them as single values, just to be simple about it. Level JSON tile offset x. Easy day, and then that. And I'll do the same thing for the y position. And like this. Offset y. I think I know how big my tiles are. I would like to say that I do. So this is what I'm going to use. The offsets are going to be, for this one, it's just going to be to the left in the y direction. So I'm going to specify an offset y for this tile. And it's going to be a hard-coded number like the number 16. Perfecto. Then I have to make sure, because that offset actually might change. You know what? I feel like that offset is going to change once I remove the fact that there is an offset. Okay. Then, oh, my bad. You might do. So yeah, now we have the position being shifted over to where I need it to be, depending on the offset. But in my grid here, or not my grid, but my start, or the world. I'm looking for the world script. There we go. Instead of having this, it should be blank. Or I almost don't want to say it needs to be blank. It's like now I've moved them where they need to be. Not everything is moved. The players would still need to have their offset. This kind of like rolls back, or it almost got me. Right. These can be else statements. Else I'll just shift them over myself. $32? I do believe it's 32. And the same thing for the Y position. Instance dot position Y plus equals 32. Okay.
Like I know you say that like you just
There, that way when I go to my world, I don't actually, there we go, I don't actually have to put a vector in here at all. Grid cell size, I'm pretty sure my grid cell size is 32 by 32, but it might be 64 by 64. I'll find out when I run the game. Oh. Oh, look at that. Look at all those tiles that need to be offset. I think by 32, let's say I'm 32 by 32 is the correct. Let's say rather 32 is half, I feel. $64 by 64. Let's try that. I want to make sure I get these things lined up the right way. Okay, so the players are kind of like in the center, not where I want them to be. What about 1616? Am I over scoping this? I'm gonna get these guys back in the right place, I swear. No, it doesn't seem like they're actually moving at all. Because player 1 is supposed to be there, but he's not moving at all. Oof. Yeah, I've done messed with my game, that's for sure. I wonder. Well, for one, I wonder what that size, what this size is. Not grid, but the world. Oh, it. Did I? Let's say okay. I did get rid of it. But what if I put it back? Are they gonna be pushed off more, or are they gonna be pushed off less? They're not gonna be pushed off at all. Okay. That works for them. But that doesn't work for me. Grr. Okay. So I will go right here, put this right here. Just to see what size offset is. I'm curious. Offset's 32 by 32. Okay. So I do, if I don't specify an offset, they're not going to have an offset. It's like, do I need to give them an offset variable? Is that what needs to happen?
Oh.
So I was right by saying 32 by 32. That is, so they are, the blocks are 64 by 64, but it doesn't seem like this position is doing anything. So I'll put a breakpoint right here. Man, right there. I'll put a breakpoint right there. Get rid of this. Just to see what I get. Or, it's like I know what I'm gonna get. You know what? Let me go back into add pawn in the grid. I think I'm just moving the texture over. That's really what I need to be doing, and just move the texture over. Or not. Map. I guess I can go look at them. That's not a bad idea. Yep, restart. I hit a breakpoint and I didn't want to hit continue. Like that one. Break that off. There. And let's just go and look at their remote positions world. In the grid, I have a player. And that player is at 192 by 34, which is I'll make a note of that. At 384. All right, and then I'll put it back to when they had the offset in the world. Control Z. Yeah, you can have that back. Okay, now let's go and look at what those positions are. Player 1, 224, 224, and 416. Alright. I wonder if I can get them to move in the correct way. Continue tile, world. I want them to be the 224 and 416. Plus 64. I wonder if we can. I wonder, like, where am I messing up? I can't really notice anything. Right before I append it to my array, I'll go and check what that instance looks like. Fall path. Step over, sure. That didn't really do anything. Step over. Man. Okay. Cool. I have one in there. It's probably player 1. Object ID. Yeah, it looks like a player 1. I'm looking for their name, but I don't see it. Player ID. They have a position 96 by 96. Or, yeah, so yeah, let me get rid of this right here. Let me go ahead and continue. Oh, you know what? Their position is the grid position, isn't it? Well, so when I call for X and Y, I'm giving them their grid position. I really just feel like I need to offset their texture. But I'm not doing that. Here, assuming the pawn's already instanced in the world, I get their grid position, and then I add an offset to that in world coordinates. I wanted to avoid calling the grid, but I may need the grid on this one. I may need this map to world. I may need to use this map to world function to get their actual position to be where I want it to be. So I'm passing in the pawn. So, or just give them that offset. Honestly, I didn't want to have to pass it through all of them, but I swear I can keep this kind of sort of hidden, or make it more complicated. I don't know. So if I give them, see, they have the grip position. If I give another one for the offset, which you'll see. Like that. Cool. Everything's, for the most part, fine.
Oh, like 101? Yeah, 101. 120. You'll do more of it than 1.
It's like, then I have to worry about saving and loading that offset. But you know what? If it's already there, it's already there. Offset is offset. Or I'm gonna do offset offset X and offset Y. So I'm saving them that way. Man, mucho. This is becoming more complicated than I thought it was, but I can still wrap my head around it. I just gotta make sure I pay attention to the variables that I use. Yeah. There we go. So it'll save as an offset any of them that have offsets, and now I can store that offset inside of a vector 2 to be retrieved later. So now when I go to the JSON parser, instead of storing it like this, I can say instance offset dot x dot y, control C, control V. This is still going to be 32 by 32. Hard-coded number. This is fine because I'm not planning on changing the size of those. All for offset. Cool. When I go to the world itself, I can just use the offset that each of them have instead of this right here. It'll be tile dot offset. And I'll go ahead and change it for the on pause also. There. Let's see what we get. Well, okay, player's fine. The blocks in here are fine. Now I can go into my JSON. Oh yeah, this took me longer than I thought, but I'll get one of those menus in. It's gonna be offset by -32 actually. I want it to be in the opposite direction, so that should put this. So that won't put the start menu where it needs to be, but it should put this continue where it needs to be. Yep. Oh my god. Which means, haha, I can go ahead. Oh, I didn't even have a start menu or a one actually written up. I might use one of the ones at the bottom for the start menu. I kind of liked the way that one was, so I'll go back here. Use this same offset, Control C, on this guy right here. Control V. Yeah, that should put the start tile in a more correct looking place at least. I forgot it should have been on the X. Man, wait, does that mean my other one's messed up too? You know, it probably is. It's probably one too high. Me and getting my X and Y mixed up. -32, 0. Don't be higher or be lower. And same thing with you. Let's see what it looks like with offset 0, and then I'll change it back. Because I kind of just want to get an idea of where it should land on the blocks. Okay. Yes, but down more. Yes, but down more. So which means it probably okay. No, it just needs one in the opposite direction. So I moved it over to the right. Dang, it's like I moved it over to the right. I'll start with one. I'll start with this one. 0, 0. I only have like 5 minutes left, so I just want to get one of my buttons aligned correctly, and I can go back and add the rest of them fairly simply. Okay, I want it to be down and to the right, so negative on both. So -32, Negative 32. Alright. Rangido again. And now I've gone up and to the left. I am confusing myself. You know why? It's probably because of the directions that the Y and the X are in. I need to go down in the Y direction by 32. There we go. Or let me look at that even closer. Is it 2 spaces? It's not. So either I think I'm wrong on that one. Yeah, I'm wrong on that one. So it needs to be just a tad bit over. So I can in the X direction. I can either let's see. It doesn't exist right there. Does it exist right here? There's only one, which is right there. So I'm gonna move it over a little bit more in the negative X. So I'm gonna subtract 16 or add 16 to this. Or let's see, 1672. No, 48. No, 48. Let's see if this lives up to my expectations of getting them correct. Because if this one's correct, that means the other one will be correct also. Okay. Oh. Nope, I'm just wrong. My numbers are just wrong completely. So there was a gap in between. What the heck? Okay, so this just needs to be moved down or it needs to be moved in the down direction, like down, which I think is adding. It's hard to tell with the start menu. I'll honestly just keep it where it's at, because I stink with numbers, like, woof. Good thing I get to play with them a lot. I'm going all over the place. But I can tell a lot better with, say, with this one over here. It needs to move down, which means I think I'm just moving down 32. Oh, and I have like 1 minute left. Okay. I'm getting there. Pause. Okay. Yeah. Yep. I just needed to move it down 32, and that looks like the right position. So one above, yeah. There. So which means it's probably the same for the start over here. I'm just bad with numbers. So that might 32. Hey. But this one I can step on, so I have to be careful. Yep. And then pause. Yep. I'll have to move that pause somewhere else. But yay, I can move there. Players chose to continue, but you can't move on it. Oh, I broke it. That's interesting. Yeah, it's the title that's really throwing me off. And I'm gonna have to rewrite the titles to be the size of the blocks, which isn't too bad. Which is something I think I can do right now when I go and look at my UI. Yeah, put the grid lines on. Snap to grid, smart snapping, view, show grid. Oh god. it's just not big enough. Configure snap. Ooh. Ooh, let me look back at the let me look back at the road. I kind of want to spend more time on it, but like, this is it. It's like once I do this, I'll be done. Let's see, configure snap 32, 32, 32, 32. Got it. Okay, let's go. Just all 32s. 32 times 32. Oh. $32. Oh, man. 32 and 32. Calling it good. Nice. Let me go ahead and place this where I want to smart snap it. There. Like that.
Oh my god.
It wouldn't let me resize it. I saw that. Yeah, you jerk. Fine. Or there. That'll probably make it better in my life. Center, center. Like. Fine. Man, I'll move it up there. There. I swear, better. It's better, I swear. Oh man. So look at it now. Still kind of in between on stuff, but it's out of the way. I'll have to worry about it another time. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate those who tune in. Say this game is Rockoban, and I'm Devon. If you haven't noticed by now, I love this game, and I can't wait. I can already see that I have another level in the making. I'm getting another level in, and I hope to have those levels play tested and ready for people to play. So thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.